Okay, YouTube, just thought I'd do a video on what I'm doing tonight. By the way, it's April 24th, I think so, yeah, Friday night. We're going to call this video Fixing the Squeaky Ranger. I should have went ahead and showed you what it was doing before I took it apart, but if you pushed up and down on a bumper, it squeaked real bad. Turned the wheels, it squeaked real bad. And I'm pretty sure it was either dry ball joint or control arm bushings. Show you what I'm doing. Actually, what I intended to do, I had ordered a whole new control arm with bushings and ball joint pressed in it. Supposedly had a grease fitting and a ball joint. It came in, it was a good price. It was a Moog control arm. I got it was $62, free shipping. I was kind of tickled to death with the price, but when I got it, no grease fitting. I said, okay, I'll go ahead and drill and tap it for a grease fitting. But when I got my original control arm off, which is the one you see here in the mill, it didn't match up. When you laid the new one on top of this old one here, if you lined up these bushings, they seem to be the right distance apart, same bushing, same bolt hole size and all that. The ball joint was way over here. Either they sent me the passenger side instead of the driver side, or it's for a different truck, but I rechecked the listing that I bought it off of and it says it does fit my truck, but it doesn't. So I had to email them and ask if I can send it back. Hopefully I will, but oh well. I've had a lot of good experiences on eBay. Some people are afraid to order anything off of them, but every now and then this happens. Hopefully they'll work with me. They got really good feedback, so most likely they will. It's probably just a mistake. But I got my truck apart and I still don't want it to squeak no more. My ball joint is not sloppy. So what I've done, I went ahead and drilled it out for a grease fitting. Went ahead and drilled these bushings out too. Wish I should have showed that. That would have made a little bit more interesting video. But anyway, we already got that part done. And what else the other thing we're going to do, let's see. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this since it's getting dark out. Move my light. I'm going to go ahead and drill out the bottom ball joint right there. I'm going to have to unhook this clamp for the, I believe it's ABS cable. I guess that's what it's for. Yep, I bet it is. Some type of sensor. So that the reason I need to unhook that is because I don't want to damage this line. I want to be able to let my jack down and let this swing out that way, and I'll be able to hopefully get down through here with a hand drill, and I'll drill and tap that for a grease fitting. Hoping it'll stop my squeaks. Which, it's a good idea to replace the ball joint, which is what I originally planned to do when they get so dry they squeak like that, because they say damage can be done. But mine doesn't look like it's loose. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to grease all that up, and hopefully that'll stop my noise. I'm not sure how effective these grease fittings here will be. When I pump grease in it, it kind of immediately squirted out here and here, but at least there's some grease in it. Okay, let me get those fittings in, and then I'll pause the camera and I'll show you how I go about doing this bottom one. Stay tuned. Okay, I think I got all my tools, everything I'm going to need to install those grease fittings. Really, that's the good thing about taking the time to make videos when you work on stuff is you want to be prepared so that you don't take too long running around looking for things while you're making the video. And that kind of helps when you do things, because you go ahead and get everything you need in the spot you need. I don't normally do that. I'll do one thing at a time, run around, look for something else. But when I'm making a video, I try to be prepared, and I try to make it look like I kind of know what I'm doing. Okay, here's what we need. Okay, I got an assortment, or have an assortment of grease fittings here. I think I picked them up at Harbor Freight, or yeah, I think so. I'm not too crazy about all the cheap tools and stuff, but they do have a lot of useful stuff for cheap. These come in metric sizes and standard thread. I'm going to stick with the standard thread. These fittings right here take a 1/4 thread. I have a 1/4 tap, and the drill size for a 1/4 tap is, I believe, 13/64. I have a chart right here. Actually, they call for a, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. They call for a number, let me see. Hang on, I'm looking at the wrong threads here. Quarter 20 calls for a number 7 drill. A number 7 drill is 201 thousandths. And a 13/64, I think, is, if you can see that, 203. That's what I have, 203. That will be plenty fine. Let me see here, and just to show you, I wish this camera mounted right-handed. Actually, I am left-handed, I'm ambidextrous, but certain things I feel like I need to do right-handed, like check things with calipers. There you go. If you can see that upside down, that's about 203. Now, let me tighten up, let me set up my camera over here, get all my tools over here. And I'll pause it while I do that, and I'll show you the procedure of drilling out this lower ball joint. And I think while I'm at it, I'm going to do this tie rod in. That's why this thing is noisy. It has no grease fittings anywhere. Talk a little bit about that later. I got a little bit of a rant about that. Stay tuned. Okay, we got our camera set up. I think I have all my tools. Bear with me, this is kind of a fragile setup for the camera. I'm going to try to do this without knocking it over. First thing I want to do, so that hopefully my drill bit won't wander on me, I'm going to take me a, normally use a center punch. This is a transfer punch, pretty close to the same thing, serves the same purpose. And I'm going to kind of eyeball that up in the center. And if I can get my hammer in here, we'll just spot it. Do that, and while I'm here, I'll go ahead and do my tie rod end. Doesn't have to be perfect center, just eyeball it up. I can do better than that though. That's obviously way off. There we go. This one here even has a little nipple where a grease fitting should be. And let's see, we got our drill ready. Hopefully it's in a position where I can get in here and do this without knocking my camera over. Like I said, it's a fragile setup. Alright. Now, if I can do this with, that punch is almost too sharp for this. It left a really tiny mark. See if I can get it started without it wandering on me. Put a little oil on this. Now I'm using assembly lube, no special reason, it's just the most convenient thing I had. It's a nice little handy squirt bottle. Blow some of that dust out of the way. And I guess some cutting oil would be nice, but these tips on these aren't too awful hard. Relatively soft or cuttable steel. So it feels fairly easy, especially when you think it'd be. Well, one thing you want to watch, it's something you got to kind of have a feel for, is you'll feel it when it starts to break through. That's when you want to let up on your pressure. You don't want the drill to catch and kind of dig in there and hit your ball too hard, but they're supposedly hardened. I don't think a drill would damage that. Yeah, I'm gonna, let's see, there's one thing I did forget, my blow gun. I want to blow all those chips off of there. Alright, I'm back. Now I'm going to put my hand over the camera lens because I don't want to get oil on the camera lens. But you can still see it. Okay. ahead and put a little oil on my tap. Some more of this grease. It's good thick grease is kind of good for tapping anyway. I don't know how well you can see this. I bet my hand's in the way. I don't know how straight I'll get this either. Okay. And if it feels like it's too tight, you want to back it up and kind of clean them chips out of there. Well, something I learned. I've been a machinist and tool and die maker for about 25 years now. Actually, I haven't worked on a stamping die for 2 or 3 years. I was trained to run a CNC mill, and that's pretty much where I stayed, but I don't mind it. The pay's the same, it's cleaner work. Once you get your mill set up, you stand there and watch it. A lot of climbing in and out of the mill, but I like it better than working on dies. I didn't mind working on dies. What I didn't like was working on stamping dies in those huge presses. Those things can take your arms off, and it has happened. Toolmaker's worst nightmare, having a press come down on his hands. Okay, I think I tapped it deep enough. It felt like the tap kind of went all the way through, and I'm not going to blow into that hole. I don't want any metal chips in there. I'm going to wipe it off first. Haven't really done a lot to the power stroke since my last video, which was putting on the MBRP exhaust. My excuse this time is I've been sick. 3 weeks, been fighting a sinus infection. Today was the first day I really felt pretty good at work all day, and I was kind of anxious to get home and get this done. Feel pretty good about being out here again, but I have worked on my stuff sick, stuff I wanted to really get done, but if you're really bad off, it's not worth it. Push yourself and get even sicker, because it'll take you that much longer to get over it, and it's that much longer you don't get to work on your cars. I've wiped it off. I think I will blow some of that out. Sure, I'll have to clean my camera lens off after that. There we go. And I'm going to take my grease fitting, put it in my socket, because it's really hard to keep them straight with your fingers. I tend to want to drop them. Okay, it feels like it threaded in pretty decent. I'm not sure if I tapped it deep enough. Put a little pressure on it. We'll see how that feels. If it screws on in there, should be good to go. Oh yeah. Actually, I think these threads are made to where it won't screw in really easy, like say a bolt would into a nut. That threaded hole, these threads are a little bigger, just so that they won't back out on you. And plus it's got a seal, so they're probably tapered a little bit, kind of like a pipe thread. Sorry about that. And that's in there. Let me get my grease gun. Unplug this hose. I really hope this quiets this thing down. Like I said, I was planning on replacing that control arm with the new bushings and new ball joint, and that is the better way to do it. And guess what? My grease gun needs to be refilled. Let me pause the camera. Okay, I'm back. Grease gun is partially full. I didn't have but like a half a cup left. Okay. It's taking it. I need to lay under here and kind of wash that boot. You don't want to over grease them. Swell that boot out, pop the seal. It's not a good thing. What I usually do is watch the boot, kind of wait for it to, swell out. Okay, well, guess what? Did pop it. Well, at least it's not dry. I don't really like to do that. That one probably was had quite a bit of grease in it. Well, That's life. I'm not going to bust that ball joint out of there to fix that. As long as it stays quiet, I'll be happy, and I'll check them from time to time, make sure they don't get loose. Okay, while we're at it, like I said, we might as well, let me pull my bucket up here for a seat. We might as well go ahead and drill this tie rod end. Really wish I hadn't popped that seal like it. Kind of ticks me off. Let's see. Well, let's talk about having everything ready, and I'm still looking for stuff. The blow gun I just had here, now I can't find it. Alright. Now, go ahead and get it started before I put a little grease on it. See how this one drills out. I see some chips. I didn't put much pressure on it. Looks like it's going to drill out okay. There we go. More like a grease and oil, but could help. I don't know how thick this cap is. I'd say it's thicker than what I just did. Tried to move on me. Look at the jack. Bring his jack up underneath this roller here. Keep it from pushing down on me. I really wish I knew where that blow gun just went. I'm going to find out. I'm going to blow all them chips out. You don't want too many chips piled around there. Here it is. Because when it breaks through, it's a chance it can get in there. You're going to get a little bit. It's just a bad thing about having to drill ones you have. It really can't be helped, and it's better than letting them go dry and failing on you, or failing early. There we go. It broke through quicker than I thought it would. Let's see. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and blow this tap off. All the metal chips off a bit. A little more oil. Engine lube, really is what I should call it. Well, I got the shakes from being sick, I guess. Normally don't shake. Don't know what I caught. Some people say it was seasonal allergies. I don't really have allergies. But everybody at work went home 3 Fridays ago feeling fine, including me, and just about everyone came back with the same symptoms. I say it's a virus. When these doctors don't know what's wrong with you, they usually blame it on allergies. I didn't go to the doctor for it, by the way. I feel like it's a waste of time, especially when it's something that's going around. Some people will go to the doctor and they'll be honest with them and tell them, I have no antibiotics for this. It's something going around, we don't know what it is. Others will give you antibiotics, knowing that you're going to get over it within about 2 or 3 weeks anyway. And then you've got guys like me who won't go to the doctor unless he's really, really sick. And guess what? I get over it at the same time as they do. Okay, well, that went a little quicker than I thought. A little easier than I thought, too. Now, we have grease fittings. Like they should be. Oh yeah, I said I had a rant about that. Well, this is the only truck I've ever bought brand new. Probably the only one I ever will. And of course, I think it's obvious. I work on all my own stuff. Pretty much not afraid to try anything when it comes to working on them. But salesman kind of threw a line at me saying that if you don't bring it in for the annual oil change and maintenance while it's under warranty, if something does go wrong, it won't cover the warranty. He kind of scared me into that, so I let him do it. And every so often, they say, hey, you're ready for a lube job. If you want the warranty to cover this, that, and the other thing, you need to do that. So I said, well, okay, go ahead and move it. And I should have crawled under the truck and looked and confronted them, but after the warranty was over, of course, I did the next oil change. I was going to do it myself. I crawled under this truck, and there's not a grease fitting to be found on the entire truck. U-joints, suspension, nothing. Now, I pumped enough grease into that one. I'm not going to pop the seal like I did on the other one. Like I said, you're not supposed to do. Oh. Anyway, okay, I'm going to start putting this back together. I'm going to show you some few things on that. I'm putting that upper control arm back on, but I need to reposition my camera. So I'm going to pause it. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back. Hopefully I got the camera in position where I won't knock it down. One thing I do need to do is move this light very carefully. Just got to go under my rickety old tripod, which I need to throw away. I'm going to knock this down. I know I will. No, I didn't. There we go. I don't know if that light's create a glare in the camera or not. A lot of times if you got it behind the camera, it's never a problem. Okay, it looks pretty bright. Yeah. Alright. Okay, we just gotta put that in there like so, obviously. Now, here is one bolt. That there is pretty much, that tab is pretty much welded on there to, and it kind of helps you out when you take it apart and put it together, because it kind of wraps around this bracket here and keeps the bolt from spinning on you while you're tightening or loosening the nut. Yeah, see if I can find this hole here. There it is. I'm just going to give it a little light tap in there. Okay. Now, and this one went in from this side. There we go. That went in a lot easier. Now that kind of helped everything. Okay. Now here's one thing you got to watch. You got to pay attention to how these come apart. You got these plates here. You can see that. Make sure you put them back on the way they came off. As far as I can see, I think those plates are for alignment, because I can't see any other alignment adjustment on this truck anywhere. I looked at the lower control arm. There's no eccentric bolt or cam bolt, whatever you want to call them, like on the old Fords with the one bolt on the lower control arm. I relate everything to old Fords because I'm used to work on stuff like 1970 and older. That's pretty much what I really like to work on. Make sure make sure these plates come off like they are. I'm pretty sure there's probably different plates available to change your alignment. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I see no other adjustment on this thing for that. And if you get those back on the way they came off, you shouldn't have any alignment issues when you put these things back together. Of course, if you put a different control arm on, things might be a little different, maybe a ball joint. I don't really think a ball joint would move it because everything should be in center and they press in on these. Anyway, you got your nut that goes there. You can see how that tab kind of locks against the frame bracket for you. Find my other nut. Here's this other plate. Let's see if I can get my hand down in there and get it out. Okay, it came out just like so. Just put it over the end of your bolt with your control arm so that that piece will go up in there. Yeah, and see that plate slides into between two tabs, and I'm pretty sure I'd be willing to bet there are two different plates or there are different plates available that can move your control arm in or out. Any full-time mechanics out there, correct me if I'm wrong, because like I said, I'm a tool and die maker by trade. I work on cars as a hobby, so I could be wrong on that. And guys who work on this every day might be able to tell you something different. Alright, before I tighten those up, I'll go ahead and show you how the rest of it goes together. Pretty simple. I think I'm going to put a little bit of this lube on that shaft, if I can find the lube. And guess what? Can't find it. Well, I took it back to the table. Why would I do that? I don't know. And I left towels on the floor, which is a big... Towels and rags on the floor are a big no-no around here, and I'll tell you why. Because of my crazy dog that you've seen in other videos. I've shown you what she does to shop rags. White paper towels are in just as much danger. She grabs them, gives me a mischievous look, daring me to chase her down and take them away. And of course, I can't run as fast as my dog. It's kind of funny to watch. I think I've shown that on several of my videos. You know, I'm still upset about that control arm. Oh, I just wanted to do this right, put new parts on it. And that rattling here is not a loose ball joint, it is up here, just in case you were thinking that. I was kind of wondering myself, I was like, I know that ball joint was not loose. We'll try to, let's see, let me get my rubber mallet. Hopefully I can tap that back in. And of course I got a bunch of stuff hanging on the wall in front of my rubber mallet where I couldn't get to it. You're wondering where all that clanging around was. I don't think it's lined up. Something's bound up. There we go. I had it crooked. There it goes. It goes in. One thing I do like about this setup, much as I hate to give newer cars any credit, you can get your ball joints in and out without destroying them. Okay, I don't know if I explained it, but if you saw that enclosure in there, this bolt is supposed to trap part of the shaft. I don't know if I got it. There we go, I didn't have it down enough. It's not good for the threads, by the way. There we go. It went in. Now, no, it's not good for the threads. I'm going to clean them up. Pause the camera. I'm going to clean those threads up. I'm not going to force them on there like. Okay, I'm back. I straightened up the thread, fixed the threads on the bolt. Thought about showing that on video, how to do it with a what you call a threading file. But I didn't want to move my camera when I was set up. That's basically all a threading file is. I'll show it to you. Gotta grab it first. Kind of a triangle shaped file like this. And what you do, it's nice if you can set it in a lathe, or actually I guess you could stick a drill in your vise. And it'd be nice if you could put it in a lathe or drill chuck and have it turn in reverse. Actually, you could put it in something like this, in that file, which is supposed to be at the correct angle. With the V of your threads will clean them mashed threads out. And that's how you fix threads with a threading file. I'd already done it. It's not that easy. You got to put a little pressure on it, but just thought I'd show how that goes. Thought it might be interesting. Of course, best way to do it is to run a threading die over it. But I don't have one. I don't have a metric set. I need to get a set of those. And anyway, I guess I'm going to pause the camera and get all my bolts tight. And I'm hoping I can get this thing together and let it down on the floor and there will be no more squeaks. Really, I need to do the other side, but I'm not going to do that tonight. It's getting a little chilly. And I'm still, I believe I'm pretty much over my virus or sinus infection, but you know how that stuff sticks with you for a while. I'm not going to push it and stay out in cool air. I don't want to get sick again. Which, now that I've had it, I'm probably pretty much immune to whatever it is for a while. Hopefully. Okay. Get that tight. Let me pause the camera. Get everything together and I'll show you if it works or not. Stay tuned. Okay, we're all back together and down on the ground. Everything's full of grease. And I think I got it. I pushed up and down on it. No noises. There's just a little bit of rubber bushing noise, but that's not going to be hurting the truck. I think that shut it up. I should have done a video of what it sounded like before. It was sounding awful. See, I still got to do put my hook cap on. Now let's start it up. Turn the wheels, because also when I turned the wheels back and forth, it was making a lot of racket. I'm pretty sure we got it. And that makes me happy, except for the fact that I ordered a part that doesn't fit. Set this camera down. I really wish my camera fit my left hand. Turn off the radio. Infringement, copy infringement rights. Can't be having that. I can't have any television shows or radio. Oh, that's quiet on my videos. Copyright infringements if I want to run the ads, of course. Alright, I think we got it. I'm happy with that. Of course, except for the control arm. Brand new control arm, which is in the house, which doesn't fit. Hopefully that guy will return it. Most likely he will. Refund my money. I don't even know if I want him to send me the correct one now. Those ball joints are not wore out. This truck has 62,257 miles on it. They're not wore out. They were just dry. And when I found excuse me. I do not smoke. I got a sinus infection. I mentioned that earlier. Or had one. I'm getting over it. I feel a lot better. But weather permit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, weather permit. And on a more desirable day when I'm feeling better and hopefully the diesel is running where I can pull it out of the garage, we'll do the other side that way. Okay, that's all for this video. I'm going to test drive this thing, but I'm going to write this one off as fixed. And honestly, it didn't cost me anything except for the control arm, which doesn't fit. But if I hadn't ordered that, if I went ahead and done this would have costed me absolutely nothing because the stuff is already in my garage. So if you got a late model Ranger that gets a little squeaky and you know it doesn't have enough miles for everything to be wore out, check them ball joints, tie rod ends, and control arm bushings, which have no fittings. Put fittings in them. That's all of this video. Up next, I'm going to try to start working on my Power Stroke tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I don't have to work. I weaseled my way out of another Saturday. things are getting busy at work, and I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know how long me getting all Saturdays is going to last, so hopefully I'll get a lot done. Mostly, I guess I'll be sandblasting those pipes and painting them with the paint that I ordered. Hopefully I can get some assembly done, but really I want to get all that painted. Tired of sandblasting. It seems to be no end to it. Every time I think I'm done, I find more. Okay, I'm blabbing. This video is going to take forever because of all my talking. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Just got a couple more new subscribers. That's it.